Grumble, grumble. Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and I am coming back at you with some hot new content. This time I'm going to be talking about Flying Frog Productions and their new, for this year at least, online convention. So, just in case there's any confusion about my relationship with Flying Frog, I love their game Shadows of Brimstone. It's one of the kind of cornerstones of my collection, and I've always wanted to go to one of their cons, which they used to hold out in the Seattle area. It was called Dice Fest, and it always looked totally bitchin' to me. I just never got a chance to actually make it out there. And so I'm super excited about the fact that it's moved to fully online this year. And as you're going to see, I've got a number of kind of event types that I'm really excited to check out and really excited to tell you more about here. So here are some of the details of the convention. You can see it starts on June 23rd, which is this Thursday. It's fully online, and it costs $10 to get a badge to attend. Once you have a badge, you can sign up for as many events as you can fit into your schedule, basically. One thing to note is that the events can't conflict with each other, so they can't overlap, because then you're kind of screwing somebody else out of a spot. One thing that's really cool that they do with all their conventions is there's a booty box that you can purchase. It's $30, and it comes with a bunch of totally awesome exclusive stuff for Shadows of Brimstone, including this new Wasteland Bodyguard miniature, a bunch of cards, a keychain, and apparently a saloon coaster set, which I'm really excited about. I feel like they need to get some pictures of that out stat, because I imagine that some really cool Shadows of Brimstone style coasters would sell copies of this box. So, Flying Frog, if you're watching, hit me up, send me some pictures of those things, and I'll create an update video and get it out there for you. So next, I'd like to take a look at some of the events that they've got going on at Roll to Move 2022. All right, so there's a number of different events at the convention, and the first one is going to be their 3D board playthroughs, where you can play with the game designers over Zoom, and you're playing with other fans as well in your party, and you're playing on this massive, amazing, handcrafted 3D environmental board. So they've got one for Shadows of Brimstone Adventures. They've got one for Tradera called Disable the Iron Beast, which looks freaking amazing. And they've got one for Targa, I believe, which is the frozen plateau area in Shadows of Brimstone. And it's basically this giant replica of the tile set, but fully in 3D, with lighting effects and with terrain elements, and it's all built out in 3D. They've got one for the frontier town called the Shootout in the Streets, where, instead of having your shootout on a 2D plane, you have physical buildings that you can draw a line of sight between and such. So super, super cool. It's one of the things I've always wanted to check out at Dice Fest, which was their in-person convention. And you can see here some pictures. You've got an image here of one of the staff members prepping or playing with the Tradera set. Here you've got the Frontier Town set up and being run, it looks like, at one of the previous Dice Fests. I can never remember that name. And so you can see it's got the 3D board. And then here you've got a 3D imagining of the Blasted Wastes, which is a really cool otherworld from the game, and you can see that there's actually like a 3D crashed spaceship and caves and such that you're actually walking through. So, really cool stuff. All right, so the next type of content that they've got is the Brimstone Adventures preview games. So these are games where you specifically get to play with content that hasn't been released to the public yet, stuff that's coming in the Shadows of Brimstone Adventures Kickstarter in the event that it ever delivers. So you've got, first off, the Valley of the Serpent Kings, where you actually get to play with the conquistadors and the heroes from that set, as well as against the Serpentmen villains. It's really cool because you're getting to see this stuff before it ships. And then they've got another preview playthrough of the Tredaran Strike Team, which is probably the most anticipated release that Shadows of Brimstone has ever gotten. It allows you to play as the bad guy Tredarans from the Tredara expansion, and so incredibly cool stuff. And I can't wait to check out this content that probably still won't be in my hands for another year or so. So the next type of event they've got going on is these kind of social events, particularly the virtual Brimstone Saloon, which basically is a space in which you can interact with other fans of the game and with the designers, ask questions, or just chat about your love of Shadows of Brimstone. Looks pretty cool. I'll probably try to attend one or two of these, but I don't know that it will be the kind of highlight of the experience for me. I think that that's going to be in the upcoming segment, actually. So let's get to that. All right, and here we go. The coup de grace, the butter on top of the bread. The coolest thing about these events is the live streams that are going on, basically, because Jason and Scott from Flying Frog, the two brothers who kind of co-founded the company, I guess, and who co-designed Shadows of Brimstone, they spend a tremendous amount of time at these events talking with their fans, taking feedback, and revealing just all sorts of awesome new details about the game's previews of content that is upcoming that hasn't been released to the public yet, to the point where they'll actually break open like a shipping box on stream and show you the final production copies of stuff that won't hit the shelves for another 6 months or so. So there's usually a ton of information that comes out of these live streams, and usually a lot of really fun interaction where the fans get to ping them with questions or complaints or suggestions for future releases. I've got one. Love to see Shadows of Brimstone have like an official mat set for player mats. That would be freaking awesome. Flying Frog, you can take that one for free. So I'm really looking forward to actually being able to participate in this for once, because usually it's just me sitting up at like 11 o'clock on a Friday night rewatching the stream, and I think it'd be fun to see it happen kind of live. They've also got a really cool radio play for Shadows of Brimstone, a first of its kind, and it is called Enveloping Darkness. And this is basically where the staff of Flying Frog is putting on a little production, like with named characters and a storyline. And from the description, it's supposed to be pretty funny and looks really, really cool. If I have one complaint about this convention, it's just that it's hard to get to all of this stuff. It almost feels like maybe they'd benefit from paring back a little bit, because I'm basically having to miss the radio play in order to attend one of the few gameplay sessions that I was able to get into. So I appreciate that they're expanding on the con and adding more gameplay sessions so that people like me who are maybe a little bit late can still see the content. But at the same time, I do wish that I could check this radio play out live, because I think it'll be pretty wild. And then the final type of presentation they've got going on is the painting sessions with Aaron Lovejoy. This guy is kind of legendary in the Shadows of Brimstone community because he does all the miniature painting on all the boxes and in all of the instruction manuals and stuff, and they're quite good. So this is meant to be like a series of instructional videos on how to paint. I don't know how much you're going to be able to learn from this master in a short few hours, but I know he's got like a session on wet blending, and he's done sessions on dry brushing and such in the past, and I imagine that those could be pretty cool, and I look forward to trying to check one of them out while the convention's going on. So that's my preview of Flying Frog Productions online convention. I think it's pretty awesome. I'm excited to check it out. I know that they've done this in the past. I don't know why, in particular, this year, all of a sudden, moving it on to Roll to Move or whatever caught my attention, but I'm glad it did because I'm looking forward to checking out some of the events and getting to play some of the content that I've been waiting a very, very long time for from the Brimstone Adventures Kickstarter campaign. So let me know in the comments if you like this type of content, if you're interested in this yourself. I don't know if there's a lot of Brimstone fans lurking in my subscribers, but if so, show yourselves and show your affinity for this incredible convention full of fun events. That's all I have for now. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will talk to you later.